Shogi, and I'm going to talk about the scholarly person presentation here today. So, first, talk about the traits of a scholarly person. Number one is, in my opinion, tenacity. Being a scholar involves a lot of schooling, and schooling is hard. You have to deal with a lot of quizzes, a lot of tests, a lot of essays, papers, and it's just a lot of hard work, speeches, and for semester after semester after semester after semester, and it's really, really hard work, and it's tedious, and it takes a long time. It's a lot of stress. So to be a scholar, you got to be tenacious. You got to be able to, plow through each and one of those obstacles over and over and over and over again. Next is connectedness. You got to be well connected, build relationships with faculty, with students, teachers, advisors, and etc. And just really be connected on campus and willing to get to know people and things like that. Also, is productive. A scholar has good time management. They know when to have fun, but they also know when to buckle down and get the job done, when to do the homework, when to study for the test, and just really be productive. And they can really just buckle down and hit those deadlines, get those assignments done, and things like that. Next is ethics. A scholar needs to be ethical. You can't cheat your way to a degree. You got to do the work. You got to do the homework, study. You got to do well on the test. You got to cite the sources, do the papers, and you just got to be ethical and honest about it. Next is mentorship. A scholar is someone who likes to learn, but they like to also give advice. They like to teach. They got to be willing to help other people out, to help people get where they're at, to inspire others through their mistakes, to teach, to learn, and to grow. Next is the traits of the everyday hero. See, the heroes in my life are risk takers. They're not afraid to go against the norms. They're not afraid to look silly in front of other people or not too worried about what other people think about them. They do what makes them happy and not what society tells them to do or what they should do or what they're supposed to do. They're risk takers. They like taking risks instead of being comfortable. Next is tenacity. Once again, life is rough. When school's rough. Being having a family is rough. Marriage is difficult. Everything is difficult. Work is difficult. There's not too many things that are easy, and you got to be tenacious. To always being able to get back up after you fall back down. You got to be willing to pick yourself back up. You got to be willing to just fight through the adversities and the obstacles and keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And the traits of my everyday heroes are tenacity. Next is learner. No matter how old you get, there's always more things you can learn. And my heroes have the quality of learning. They're a student of life. They always learn from their mistakes. They learn by reading books, experiences, by speaking with other people, and they're just always learning, always growing personally, professionally, spiritually, as a family member. They're just always growing in any way, shape, or form. They're a learner. They love to learn and improve and to get better. Next is integrity. Integrity. You got to be honest. You can't lie your way to the top. You can't lie your way to success. You have to be honest. You have to give it your honest word. You got to be ethical. You got to have integrity. You got to be truthful. You got to be trustworthy. You got to be credible. Next is communicator. Good quality for everyday hero is having the ability to portray your vision to other people, to communicate, to build relationships with people, to befriend people, to have friendships with different groups of people, and to be able to communicate with different types of people, different ages, different backgrounds. And those are the qualities that the everyday heroes in my life have. Next is my future plan and my academic plan and professional plan while I'm here at Winona State. I'm a professional studies major, so I'm taking courses from psych, communication, and business. And so for my psych classes, I love psychology. I'm very fascinated with psychology. And in the next 2 semesters, the classes I'll be taking will be learning about personalities and how people think and what different parts of the brains do and behaviors and attitudes and how society plays roles on influencing that stuff and persuasion and influence. And I love that stuff, and that stuff is key to know and helpful to know in pretty much any profession. Next is communications class. The classes I'm taking is very group discussion, class interaction. It's speeches, presentations, and it's communicating one on one in small group, and it's just improving your communication skills. No matter what profession you go in, you got to be able to communicate and interact with other people because the majority of professions involve interacting with other people and working with other people. Next is business. I love business. I love learning about money and saving and financing and investing and I love learning about just all that and taking a lot of business classes so I could be able to help others, help clients, and to succeed in my profession as well. Challenges. Challenges that I'm going to face in my profession. Me growing up an African American, I've experienced those all those challenges countless times. Discrimination. Discrimination is the unfair treatment of someone from unfair treatment of someone from a group, and I've experienced a lot of discrimination in my life constantly. Prejudice. Prejudice is negative feelings towards someone because they belong to a certain group. I've experienced prejudice in my life all the time, countless times. And racism. Racism is believing that an entire race is below another race, and I've experienced that as well. But specifically, how these challenges will occur in my profession is the field of financial advising. These problems are very, very prevalent even today. When researching social injustice in my career, I found that my career is a very sexist and very racist field. Even in 2013, there was lawsuits in very against very famous firms and very big firms from racist behaviors, from supervisors and coworkers. African American employees were getting paid less than what they should have, less than what they deserve, less than they were told, and less than their white colleagues, and they're being treated poorly and discriminated against by their coworkers and getting called racial slurs. There's a lot of segregation, isolations, and a lot of the firms that were getting sued were settling for millions upon millions of dollars. So these accusations weren't, they weren't baseless. They clearly were true. And I've experienced this my whole life, and I've learned that there's nothing I can do to stop it, but I don't have to take it. And once you grow up being discriminated against, you feel a sixth sense. You get a sixth sense and know when it's happening, and you, no matter how subtle it is, you always see it. And having that sixth sense will allow me to not stand for unfair treatment and go to my union or or just take any actions or precautions necessary so that I'm not treated unfairly. Educational benefits. The benefits of having an education. There's a lot of benefits to having an education. Number one is I can educate my family and friends, especially the people who didn't go to college or people who don't know much about my career. I can educate them. I can teach them what I know, and I can help them, with colleges and picking their majors and things like that. And I could just really just teach them things that I know, the concepts that I know, things that I've learned, experiences that I've had. Another thing is I understand business concepts. I understand how money works, and I'm not saying I know it all, but I have a good understanding of saving and investing and budgeting and things like that, and I can really teach that to friends and family as well. And lastly is I'm qualified to go into my profession. And getting a degree and getting educated allows you to get jobs that uneducated people can't. It allows you to start at a higher salary. It allows you to start off at a higher position or rank than other people can't. So that is my scholarly traits presentation. Thank you for coming.